Hi, first grade. Today we're going to talk about solid figures. Today I will learn to identify and sort solid figures according to their shapes and to identify real-world objects shaped like solid figures. What are solid figures? Look at the figures below. I've given you 6 figures: a cube, a pyramid, a rectangular prism, a cylinder, a sphere, and a cone. I want you to look at each one of these shapes and think about what you have around your house that may be this shape, or what do you see every day that could be this shape. Well, what does a solid figure look like? A solid figure has 3 parts: a face, an edge, and a vertex. A face is the flat surface on a solid figure. So if you look at the cube, you see there is an arrow drawn to the face of the cube. That's the flat side. An edge is going to be where 2 faces meet. And also I have drawn an arrow to that on the cube. Remember, think of a table, a book, a piece of paper. The edge is where 2 flat surfaces meet, 2 faces meet. And the vertex is the corner. That is made when 2 faces meet. So think of vertex, corner. It's going to be the point. So let's learn. Solid figures are not flat. That means they're not flat like a piece of paper. They do have a shape. And that also means that they're going to take up space. So if you look at the pictures, you see I have a picture of solid figures and not solid figures. Solid figures are going to be the cube, the cone, the cylinder, the prism, the pyramid, and the sphere. And the not solid figures are things like a circle, a square, a trapezoid, a pentagon, an octagon, a triangle, a rectangle. So let's practice. What I've given you is I've given you 4 shapes. I want you to find the shapes, the figures that are the same, and color them red. So I've given you a pyramid, a rectangular prism, a sphere, and a cylinder. Now if you look at the pyramid, you see that the first figure and the last figure in that row are both pyramids, so we should color them red. Just because the first figure is on its side does not mean that it is not a pyramid. It does not change its shape when it's on its side. It's still a pyramid. The second figure is a rectangular prism. The first and the third pictures are rectangular prisms. Again, just because it's laying on its side does not mean that it changes its shape. It's still a rectangular prism. Number 3 is a sphere. The second and fourth figures are spheres. Spheres are very unique in that they do roll. They have no faces. And the cylinder. The second and the fourth picture are cylinders. And again, just because the cylinder is on its side does not change the shape. It's still a cylinder. So let's think of some attributes for spheres and for cubes. Now you're going to circle the attributes that describe all spheres. And I've given you have no straight sides, can roll, are round, can bounce. Think very carefully on these. For attributes of cubes, have square faces, are hard, are red, have 6 faces. Let's see if we can figure these out. So, does a sphere have no straight sides? That is correct, so we can circle that. No sphere will have a straight side. Can they roll? Yes, think of a ball. A ball is a sphere, so it rolls. Are they round? Yes, they are round. Can they bounce? Nope, not all spheres can bounce. Remember, just because it's in a circular shape does not mean that it can bounce. Can you bounce an orange? Can you bounce a wooden sphere? No, so that is not true. Now let's look at the attributes of cubes. Do all cubes have square faces? Yes. Are all cubes hard? No. We could have a marshmallow shaped like a cube. Is that going to be hard or soft? Soft. So that's really not something that all cubes have. Are all cubes red? No. Do all cubes have 6 faces? Yes, and we can see that by just simply counting. Now remember I showed you the pictures of different shapes, different solid figures, and I asked you to look around your house or tell maybe something that you can compare it to. So think of a sphere. What is something that we see that is a sphere? Yes, a ball, a basketball, a soccer ball, an orange, even though an orange is not perfectly round. Those are all spheres. What about a cylinder? Kind of looks like a tube. Yes, think of a can, maybe a Coke can, maybe a can of Lysol, right? Definitely a cylinder. What about a cube? Yeah, maybe a box. A desk may have a cube shape. Those blocks have a cube shape. So there are many different things that could be a cube shape. What about let's see, let me give you a tricky one. How about a rectangular prism? Yes, a rectangular prism could be a desk, could be a door, could be a refrigerator. All those are rectangular prisms. Okay, first grade, it has been fun. I want you to keep practicing these shapes, and we'll talk next time. Goodbye.